Hi, my name's Christine. Welcome to my channel. This is Everyday Living During Cancer. Today I just want to talk about feeling vulnerable when you have a chronic illness or when you have a chronic illness or just any illness at all, short period of time. People going through COVID or this flu that's going around, sometimes when you're sick, you feel vulnerable. You feel open to harm and not safe. So I just want to talk a little bit about that. So if you hear some crunching noises, I have 2 dogs laying on me right now. They're being pretty good, but we'll see. They have a couple toys, so you might hear some noises. And I'm just going to work on my blanket here as we talk. So yes, you see I'm actually working on my blanket. I keep saying, yeah, I'm going to get to it, but I have been. I've been steadily going through and working on it. So when I first was diagnosed, I had quite a few problems. If you've been watching my channel, you know I had a broken arm in the beginning and a broken back, and I was in a lot of pain and wasn't able to do a whole lot for myself. Stand up, barely could stand up, barely could use the restroom. And so that's when it started. I think in feeling vulnerable. I had felt nervous, I felt scared, I felt unsafe, like walking through a weird neighborhood or getting a weird vibe off somebody. I've been in car accidents, and there's a feeling there even after when you're driving later, but I've hit a lot of range of emotions, but I don't think I've ever really felt as vulnerable as I did when I was first diagnosed, and as I still do 2.5 years later. And the kind of vulnerable where there were times where I didn't want to be left alone. I had tubes coming out of me, and yes, I could get to the bathroom, and yes, if I had to, I could call 911. Yes, I could, get up and go get a drink of water and food with difficulty, but I could still do it. And so my family has been so supportive, and they've always been here for me. They rarely leave me alone. But over time, I think I've really become dependent on that, and it's so odd for me to feel so vulnerable. And when I say vulnerable, I mean, like, I don't feel safe in my own space anymore, no matter where that space is, whether it's in my home, in my bed, in my chair. I feel like at any moment something could happen and I won't be ready for it, or there's no one there to help me. And which is unusual because I've been able to have everyone help me when things have gone south. But I just have this feeling, and I don't know, has anyone else felt that before? That's something I'd really like to continue talking about in the comments, about feeling vulnerable. My daughter just left, so both my daughters, they have part-time jobs on purpose so they can watch out for me and be there when I need them. So one of my daughters went on vacation, and that left me alone for about just a half a day by myself, where I get up, get my own breakfast and coffee and take my time because it wears me out and stuff, but I could do it. I wasn't going to starve. And I just didn't know how I was going to feel. Yes, I'd missed her and felt lonely in that respect, but to feel vulnerable, I was really kind of curious as to how I was going to respond to that, because I've always been okay to be by myself. I mean, I could sit in a restaurant and eat by myself. I never felt odd or weird. And I got a little guy poking his head up. Lay down, boo-boo. Lay down. There you go. And so to have her gone for like a week and everything just felt like, what am I going to do? How am I going to feel? I was scared. I didn't want to ask anyone else to come and stay because it just felt ridiculous in the sense that I can still take care of myself. I'm not that bad. I can still get food for myself if I need to. I sleep in my chair. I can go upstairs. I can shower for the most part. I do like someone in the room with me when I'm showering, because sometimes I don't know how I might feel when I shower. If I get too dizzy or too out of breath and too exhausted, I'm afraid I might fall or something. But in just general, just sitting here for a few hours watching TV with the dogs is fine. I can even let them out. But again, it was like, oh, now I've got to test that theory, like, yes, you could do it, but you've always had help, and now you're going to be by yourself, and how scary is that? What if something happens? One time something did happen. This was a while ago when we first got our puppy, and they got out the door because I opened it to get a package. Both dogs got out. Shh, shh, shh. both doggies got out, and I fell down trying to chase the puppy. And that was a big fall. And I could have really hurt myself badly. My bones are fragile, and that was scary. And it was after that my family said, no more, you're going to be by yourself. So weird things happen, and it's a mindset, having to acknowledge I feel vulnerable and kind of be okay with it. But then when my daughter was gone, I did get okay with it a little bit. I'd much rather have someone here, makes me feel safer, but I felt more courageous. I felt more safe, because that's the only word I can determine is how vulnerable and feeling safe. When you have a medical problem, I just didn't feel safe, although everything was safe. Does that make sense? It's kind of strange. So anyway, there was Thursday. My other daughter did a lot to like fill in the gaps and be here as much as she could. But on Thursday, I was here by myself a lot. And I little by little, I picked up the house, the room I was in, because I don't like to see it messy, took my breaks. I did get my breakfast, let the dogs out. And you know what? I lit a candle and I just relaxed, and it was so good. I was so proud of myself. I felt more like myself having quiet time, which I don't get because I prefer not to have quiet time. I've had too much quiet time since I've been ill, way too much quiet time. So it was the first time I felt like I was having quiet time for me. I felt safe. I felt comfortable. I felt cozy. I read a little bit. I napped a little bit right here in this room in my chair, and everything was just great. But has anyone else felt that when being ill? That vulnerability, I've just never really felt it before until this illness. So maybe spending more time by myself and doing more for myself, which I know I can, but I think it's more that emotional and that mental break that I need to make to really get there and to find myself feeling safe in my own space, no matter where that is. Because I also, right now, do not like going to the doctors by myself. I've started having the kids come in with me, not just dropping me off so I can not have to walk as far. Just sitting in the waiting room, go with me to the store for a quick look at something, the grocery store, whatever, TJ Maxx, you know how I love to go to TJ Maxx and stuff. And that I'm not ready to, I was doing it on my own, and no, I really want someone to go with me. I feel very vulnerable still out in the open. So I'm getting there. I'm feeling the best I have felt. If you follow my Instagram, you'll see that I talked about, I had good news from the doctor. Everything's just staying good, and progressively my markers are going down, the numbers are going down. So that's a good sign. And so physically, I'm in a good space. Mentally, I'm getting there, to getting back to feeling safe in my own space. I guess that's the only way I can describe it. And I want to, again, thank my family and friends that visit me, that have lunch with me, and that stay here and take care of me and literally wait on me hand and foot, because sometimes they have to. And I really appreciate their understanding and their sensitivity to the situations. And but vulnerability, just something I never really experienced in that way before. And I just wanted to share with everyone, and in case someone feels the same way, that they're not alone. And, I'll check in with you later and see how that improves. That's all I wanted to talk about this time. I did want to mention two things. One is that I have a Buy Me a Coffee link to my in the description box, and on my YouTube channel community page, one of the pages there, it's a Buy Me a Coffee. And what you do is you just click on it and you literally just buy me a coffee. It's to raise money. Usually people use this to just to contribute to what I do here. I'll really just be buying me a coffee, and it'll be fun it's like a way I'll know people are like listening and paying attention, and maybe I'm helping someone else out there, or that you just appreciate what I'm doing here. It just adds to that for me, and buy myself a cup of coffee. Little donation, not a big deal, whatever you want. If you want to, if not, that's okay. I'm not going to be, put out because I don't get coffee. There's plenty of coffee to go around. So the second thing is I am taking on life coaching clients. If you follow my Instagram, I'll list that below, and there's information there. There's also information below in the box about my life coach business, and you can email me. You can leave a comment too. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I will talk to you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.